Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make the ultimate modern survival house. Now, I know these two things don't typically go together, like modern and survival house, but I thought that it'd be kind of a cool idea to make a survival orientated build in a modern style. Here the house is from all of the different angles that you might want to take a look at it from. Just from having a look at a few of the images, you might see that this house is kind of functional. Let me show you around a little bit. So, inside of the house, we have all of the stuff that we might expect out of a regular house. We have some chests, we have an enchantment library, we have a little farm area, we can store ourselves plenty of animals in there, we even have a bed and a crafting table, furnaces, beacons. We have all sorts of stuff in here. We even have a little stable built into the house, which is also accessible from outside of the house. And on top of that, we have access to a nether portal on the front of the house for all of your otherworldly adventures. And on top of the house, we have a pretty large farming area with more chests and storage and stuff like that. And just in case you want to see the outside of the stable, here we have a horse, and we can also see the animals from the outside. I think that this is a pretty cool build. I hope that you guys enjoy it as well. If you do, please do remember to hit that like button. It'd really help me out. And honestly, if you do hit that like, it really just makes me quite happy. That's mostly what hitting that like button does. I'd really appreciate it. Subscribe if you want to see more stuff. Comment down below if you want to see specific things. And do also feel free to check out the channel in the cards and also in the description below. Without any further ado, however, why don't I actually show you how to make this thing? It's really easy. So if you want to make it, here's what you'll need. Grab yourself some block of quartz, some quartz slabs, some quartz stairs, some grey concrete, or cyan terracotta also looks good as well. Some black stained glass block, black stained glass pane, obsidian, stone slabs. We need some iron doors, and we also need all of this other stuff also. So do feel free to grab everything that you can see in the inventory right now. You might have to give yourself a second, and once you have all of the stuff, and once you've figured out where you want to make it, by the way, this house will fit into a 16, that's 16 blocks coming across the front, by a 17 block, that's 17 blocks going towards the back area. So it doesn't take up that much room on the ground. If you like, you can better plan out your build by making this almost square shape in your world. So we're going to start off on the very front bottom left hand corner of our square parameters. We're going to move it in one block to the right, and then we're going to move inwards towards the center by 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is where we're going to kick things off. And we're actually going to kick stuff off by placing a row of 5 grey concrete coming up from the ground. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take that 5th block and go right of it by 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Connect that 7th block down to the ground, like that. Add a row of block of quartz directly to the right of that row of 7. Then, add a row of block of quartz directly in front of that row of quartz. Then, add a row of obsidian directly in front of that row of quartz also. Then, take the bottom of the obsidian and go to the right by 3, 1, 2, 3. Extend it upwards and connect it to the left. That is what you are looking for in terms of your nether portal. What we're now going to do is I went a little too far. We're going to place a row of black stained glass pane inside of the row of cyan terracotta, grey concrete. It looks very similar. Grey concrete, your grey blocks. You want to place a layer of glass inside of that. Then you want to place a layer of grey concrete inside of the row that you've just made. So you want to kind of like place a row inside and then a row of grey inside of that. And this is where the entrance is going to be. And what we're going to do is we are going to make the entrance look a bit fancier in that we are going to place an upside down quartz stairs in front of the top 2 corners of the entrance. And we're going to connect it together using quartz slab. We're also going to place a block of quartz coming outwards from the bottom of the entrance with black stained glass pane in between the top and bottom of the entrance. We're also going to place doors here as well, although they'll probably be messed about with later. We might even reverse them so that they're kind of like this, so that they kind of like sit back a little bit. And the way that we'll access this area later is that we'll use stone pressure plates to actually walk into the build. But that's how the front of the house is kind of shaping up. What we also want to do here is we want to place, at the base of the nether portal, we want to place a layer of quartz slabs. And at the top of the nether portal, also quartz slabs. We want to place a block of quartz in front of the left hand and right hand middle 3 blocks coming up the sides of the portal, like this. So you still get a hint of obsidian coming through, but it's nowhere near as strong as it would be otherwise. What we now want to do is we want to add a layer of quartz slab coming all the way around across the top front of the actual house. So we want to place a layer of quartz slab coming out in front and top of the house. We want to extend it to the left by 1, so it's like overhanging the side of the house by 1. And what we actually want to do is we want to have like a row of block of quartz come up from the ground, and we want to meet it. So obviously it won't connect together because there's a half a row's gap, but that's how you want to have things. You also want to place quartz slabs in front of the grey concrete that you have at the base of the house. So you can see that we're adding a lot of detail in here, and hopefully you guys are getting all of this. I hope that this is still easy enough to follow. Come to the left hand side of the house and whip out the grey concrete. We want to take the top corner of the grey concrete, so like this corner block, this top one, you guys can see what I'm talking about. You want to extend this towards the back of the house by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Connect that down to the ground. Then take that 5th block once again and extend it back by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then connect it down to the ground. Then you want to take that block that you just connected down to the ground and go up by 3. 1, 2, 3. Then go forwards by 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then connect down to the ground. And also you want to extend the block that hits the ground forwards by 1. So essentially the shape that you're looking for, it looks kind of like an Egyptian hieroglyphic or something. That's kind of what we're after. Now, coming to the back of the build, we'll take care of the rest of that later. We want to do a couple of things. We want to, first of all, start off by taking this block that we extend towards the front of the build. We want to extend it to the left by 2. 1, 2. We want to do an up left diagonal. Extend left by 3. 1, 2, 3. We then want to go down by 3. 1, 2, and 3. Then we want to go left by 1. Like that. What we also want to do is we want to place... we want to connect the block that we just extended to the left. We want to connect it all the way down to the ground, like this. But what we also want to do is we want to take the block that we extended from the left. We want to place a block underneath it, and then go right to form this shape here on the back of the house. We also want to take this same block that we connected down to the ground. You can see that we have like a horizontal row. I know that this is getting a bit confusing here. You want to take this block and you want to extend it to the left by 3. 1, 2, 3. Take it down to the ground. Extend it left by a further 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Extend it down to the ground like that. Take a sideways view of what you've just made. Just got to adjust my screen. So we want to take this block that we connected down to the ground and extend it towards the front by 3. 1, 2, 3. Take it down to the ground. Then take that same block that you just extended down to the ground, and you want to do this pattern. You guys all recognize this pattern. You want to go in front of it by 2. 1, 2. Then down 1. In front 2. Down 1. In front 2. Down 1, in front 2, down 1, in front 2, and that should line up, by the way, with the front of the nether portal. Speaking of the nether portal, we actually want to place behind the nether portal, right? We want to place behind the right hand side 2 rows of block of quartz. So these 2 rows of block of quartz you'll see now put us in line with the front of the house, and that's the way we want things to be. But what we kind of want is we want to connect the back top of the nether portal together using quartz as well, like this, right? You want to knock out this block of quartz right here, and you want to place grey concrete sat inside the base of the nether portal, if that makes sense. So the way that you're looking at it, you guys can see what I'm talking about, right? And then you want to take this grey concrete and you actually want to extend this concrete backwards, all the way backwards, until there is a gap of 2 between the concrete and the back of the house. We can fill this area in with stone slab. So you can see that it wants to connect to the back of the house in such a way that you leave 2 blocks alone, and that is the way things want to be. Also, if you like, you can create a wall using a block of quartz. Now, this is up to you whether you want to create this wall or not, but you can create a wall of block of quartz coming all the way backwards towards the back of the house, as long as the row of block of quartz doesn't interfere with the stone slabs that you have at the back of the house. The stone slabs are basically going to become a little bit of a stairs. A little bit of a stairs. I'm not sure that sentence makes sense, but we're going to use stone slabs to make stairs, in that we're going to fill in this back part using stone slabs. We're going to bring them forward by 1 row, and then we're just going to use stone slabs to half a block at a time create a little bit of a pathway down to the base of the actual house. So if that makes sense, can you see what we've kind of done? We've used our stone slabs to create a little bit of a pathway which runs up onto the second floor of the house, which incidentally, by the way, the second floor of the house is going to... Oh god, that didn't destroy the block. The second floor of the house is also going to be filled in almost completely with stone slabs. As a matter of fact, I don't see any reason to not completely fill it in with stone slabs at all. We might as well just fill the entire thing in, because this is going to form the roof, the second floor. The second floor is very important because we have a big farm up here, which we will, well, we'll probably make the farm later, just because the farm is kind of like a really big part of the structure. Like, I don't think that I'll be placing beds and stuff and furnishing the inside of the house on the tutorial, but I think that the farm is actually big enough and it's a cool part of the house that I should show you how to make it. But yeah, this is what we've kind of got so far, guys. You can see that it's being pieced together really quickly, and it also looks great, if I do say so myself. Anyway, what we now want to do is we just want to build up the roof a little bit. I think we'll do the roof. On the front of the house, right, we have this corner block. So, I mean, you guys will be able to find this block on the front of the house. The one that I have highlighted right now, we want to place 2 grey concrete to the right of it. 1, 2. We want to do an upright diagonal. We want to go to the right by, I do believe that it's 3. 1, 2, 3. We then want to connect that third block all the way to the back of the house. You'll see that it'll be able to connect perfectly to the back of the house like that. We then want to use our quartz slabs, and we want to place a layer of quartz slabs on the upper left-hand side of this overhang. So, like, we want to have a layer of quartz slabs here. We want to have the quartz slabs overhang the front of the house by 1 row. We then want to extend them to the right by 1. Move up half a row to the right. Extend it to the right by 1. Move up half a row to the right. Extend it to the right by 1. Half a row to the right by 2. Then towards the back until it overhangs the back of the house. Then to the back by 2, or to the right by 2. Then half a row down, right 1. Then half a row down, right 1. Half a row down, right 1. So you can see that we have something which actually should look a lot like this. And you can see that that looks quite nice how it is. Now, that's all fine and dandy and everything, but we do have to make the roof to this little thing that we have here. So this here, we're going to fill in mainly with glass block. We're going to connect the grey concrete. I keep wanting to call it cyan terracotta. I really wish they'd stop messing about with the names and stuff. Grey concrete, we're going to completely fill this in with our black glass. But we want to have a space in the roof that we drip water down from. The significance of this is it's going to connect to the farm. So the first thing we'll do is we'll just fill in the areas of grey concrete that we have on the back and the side, and we're just going to fill these in with glass. We're going to fill these in with glass because we're going to be placing some dirt blocks which are going to create our farm, and we don't want the dirt blocks to stick. So we're going to create a farm as big as we possibly can on the second floor without it looking weird and abstract and stupid. And you'll end up probably with a shape that will look like this if you make it the same length as the glass on both the side and the back, and make sure that it is one row away from everything. Then you will find that you have a nice farm. And all we're going to do is we're going to place some wooden trapdoors on the side of the farm. This, like I said, I think that this is actually a really cool part of the house. The fact that it's got a nice water feature and it's got a nice little bit of color on this. It separates this modern house into the category of a survival house. The fact that it's got all this nice lush green color and the fact that it's actually very, very functional as well. Well, the point of this is that we want to be able to drip water into this, and you can see that we're going to want to really have the water come down into the center, which means that this middle block here is we're going to want to be able to access it. So this is where we want the water to drip from, and just to make sure that it works, we're just going to drop it from here. And it's actually flowing outwards, but that's fine because we can just place a slab here and maybe like a stairs either side of that, and maybe we can place a little frame around the water using quartz slab. So you can see it's not in the center of the roof, but it is in the center of the farm down here. And we can just chuck water buckets in here as well, like this. And now we have a still water supplies, which looks quite good. If you want, by the way, you can even fan out the water like this. Just add a block into the middle, and it'll fan out the water, and it'll look a bit more impressive. And all I'm going to do now is I'm just going to chuck some seeds in this. I'm just going to hoe the land. I'm going to chuck some seeds in it, and it'll look quite nice. And later on, when we're messing about with the house a little bit more, we'll notice that up on here on the second floor, we'll have this nice little farm emerging. I don't know. I think it makes a big difference to the house. I think it looks really, really nice. Anyway, now, just to kind of put a trim on the second floor, we're just going to use our black stained glass pane, and we're just going to add a layer of black stained glass that kind of sits, and just to make sure that I do this correctly, yeah, okay. All we're going to do, by the way, as well, is we're going to place a grey concrete on the front right-hand corner of the second floor, just in this position right here, that's fine. And then it kind of like gives the glass something to grip onto, otherwise it'll just kind of wrap around. We're going to place some glass here, coming over this direction. Should we give this anything to grip onto as well? Now we'll leave that alone. We'll even have the glass rip around here and down the stairs also. So you can see a lot of the house in doing that. I mean, a lot of it's actually been completed. It's looking really good already. We do have just a few things to do to the house now, actually. I can't believe how much we've done. So what we're going to do next? Well, we're going to use our quartz slabs, and we're going to extend the quartz slabs that we have on the front of the house, right? We're going to wrap it around the back of the house, and it's going to come all the way around the back of the house, and it's going to stop in this position. Just to make sure that I've got this right, it's going to stop in this position right here. So you can see this actually lines up with the row of quartz that we have at the back of the nether portal. This row of quartz slab also wants to be connected down to the ground using block of quartz like this. Now all we want to do, and we also want to connect the back left-hand corner of the house downwards using a quartz block as well, like this. So you see that we're kind of creating these cool pillars. And then all we have to do is we just have to basically just fill everywhere in with glass. Now, it does sort of depend on how you want to use the house functionally. Like, there are some parts of the house that you might not want to fill in completely with glass. I'll fill in these bits with glass, like the part that I think that you'll want to use as storage space and stuff, and then we'll discuss what you might have saw at the front of the video. And I might just have to go back to the start of the video later on just to kind of show you guys how I've got my house laid out a little bit more, because I don't really want to make the interior in this video, not even a little bit. I kind of want you guys to figure out what's important in like a modern survival house for you, and I want you guys to add it all in. And I'm sure that you can draw some inspiration from the house that we have at the front of the video, but I'm sure that you guys will also be like, I could really use a bigger library, or I could really use this, or I could really use that. So it might be that you don't want to completely fill in this part of the house, The reason being is this part in particular, I think is really cool to have kind of like a stable, as silly as that might seem. So like, I think to like, as an entrance to the stable, if you have like a couple of iron trap doors with levers, you'll be able to get a horse through there. The horse is liable to escape unless you place some glass here. Now, I'm almost positive that's enough room to get the horse through. And then you might want to like place some glass in this position maybe. Make sure that everything looks nice, of course. You don't want like gaps and stuff in your house, or maybe you do, but do make sure that like you add in blocks and make sure that there's no massive gaps. And this would actually be a really cool way to get in and out of your stable. You could even have something similar on this side, like you could have a door, like if you wanted to enter where the horse would enter. What block is this? This is stone slab. If you wanted to enter this, then you could have like a doors and stuff, and you'd just close that back up, and you'd be able to go from your horse to your house. It's kind of up to you. Once again, it depends how you want to lay things out a lot. I really think that a cool idea is to have also like a kind of like a little mob barn, like a modern barn that you can see from the outside, because I think it's kind of fun on especially this particular side of the house also. So you might want to find that like this is where you want to have a barn, and maybe you add a bit of glass on the inside or whatever, however you want to do it, and you just open up this area. And you might also find that you don't really want to see the nether portal from the inside. Maybe that's something that you really don't want to do, so you might want to seal that. Do you guys get what I'm getting at here? Like, you're just going to want to have to, you just want to basically feel out the house for yourself, for the inside. I think that I'll show you the original version of this, of the house, the one that's kind of like suited and booted up for survival, just as soon as we light up the nether portal, because this is the house fundamentally complete. Oh, I do like lighting up a portal, I don't know why. Because this is the house fundamentally complete, this is the structure of the house completed. The rest of it really is up to you with what you want out of the house. Let's go back to the original version, and I can show you what you might want to add and what you might want to not. So here we are back at the original house, ladies and gentlemen, and as you can see, it's extremely similar to what we've made, except the farm has grown. That is literally the only no, of course there's a couple more differences, but up here on the second floor, I think that a nice little bit of storage and plant life might be in order. Maybe you want to decorate the place up a little bit with those sorts of things. That's pretty much the only difference between this version of the farm and the other version of the farm. You might also want to decorate the outside of the house a little bit. You might want to add in some pathways leading to the nether portal on the second floor around the front of your house. You might even want to install some artificial grass in the form of lime terracotta and green terracotta in rows and rows and rows wrapping around your house. It looks quite nice. It works very well with the modern theme. On the inside of the house, you might want to find that you kind of like a nice open plan sort of living, and if you want storage chests and a library, then it can all get melded together. As a matter of fact, the library is part of the bedroom, and the bedroom has crafting stuff, and it has chests, and it has all sorts of stuff in it. You might find a little inspiration from this. I actually really like this little setup that we have here. You know what? I kind of want to make like a modern base or so. I don't know. I'm getting some ideas from this, guys. I'm getting some ideas. By the way, I kind of like the idea of black beds as well. Or grey. Are they black or grey? It doesn't matter. So, you guys know what colour those are. We also have a little farm pen here as well. You can see a nice little pig roaming around there. And there is also a chicken. Yep, there's a chicken over there too. But there's plenty of room in there. And of course, if you wanted to allow access to this room, then you could put in doors. I'm going to just chuck in oak doors just for the fun of it. But of course, you could put in doors, and you could allow yourself access to this to be a bit more functional. The same could be said for like the stable. Like, you might want to be able to walk in and out of the stable without too much trouble. And this is kind of how I have the house set out, guys. So, I mean, hopefully you draw a little bit of inspiration from that. Hopefully you guys like what I've got going on, and you'll be able to make a house and really make it your own. I really like this house a lot. I think it's one of the cooler houses that I've made recently. It's really cool. It's really modern survival. It's so functional. I don't know. I really like it. Hopefully you guys do as well. If you do, please do remember to hit that like button. I'd really appreciate it. I honestly would if you could hit that like. It helps me out and it helps the channel out. It makes me happy. If you enjoy the content, subscribe to the channel. What have you got to lose? If you subscribe, click the little bell next to the subscription button to ensure that you get all my stuff sent directly to your sub box. Very important stuff. If you do want to check out more of my stuff, if you want to see stuff specifically for you, comment something down below. Let me know what you want to see. I do read comments. Let me know what you want to see in the future. And on top of all of that, if you want to check out more of my content, check out the card system. The description below. It has loads of playlists, all sorts of stuff in there for you guys. If you want to check that out, you guys know where to go. Card system, description below, all sorts of playlists. I make all sorts of stuff as you've been seeing around my worlds. Thank you so much, guys. I hope that you really have had a good time making this. I hope that it's been a little bit more interesting than your regular stuff. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video.